In today's episode of PDubs Arcade Loft, we're going to revisit the Super Console X, but not in the way you're thinking. We've done a couple of videos on the Super Console X console. It's a pretty cool console, but now they have the Super Console X stick. Everything in the console in one giant stick. Is this pretty cool for your AtGames Legends Ultimate? Okay guys, we're back, and I'll have links in the video description below for my prior Super Console X videos if you want to check those out. This is a nifty little device, comes preloaded with all the goodness, 40,000 games, and you can easily connect these via OTG mode to your AtGames Legends Ultimate. So for those of you who are having trouble getting coin ops set up or finding coin ops, it's a nice little solution. Although it's large and bulky, and you have to mount it to the side of the cabinet, which is why, in my opinion, the Super Console X stick might be a better solution, especially for those looking to use these on an AtGames Legends Arcade family of products. And even if you didn't want to connect it to an AtGames family of products device, these things connect easily to your TV. They do have 4K high-definition output support, does come with 2 controllers, can support up to 5 players, and of course is compatible with 80+ emulators, including PlayStation Portable, Nintendo 64, PS1, Dreamcast, all that good stuff. It does also have 256 gigabyte micro SD card that came with it, fully loaded with all the goodness. You know, overseas they don't care, they're going to give you all the goodness. It does come with 2 controllers, and in my opinion, these PlayStation rip-off controllers are pure garbage. They're not that great. You're probably never going to want to use these, but considering that, you know, with the USB ports and everything, these are compatible with various other controllers. You're not going to have an issue finding controllers you want to use. But in my case, my main reason, and probably my only reason for purchasing this product, is I wanted to test this out on that AtGames Legends Ultimate arcade machine using our joysticks and buttons as our controllers. Now, this package does retail for $129, but you get a lot of goodies. You get the Super Console X Pro stick, you get the remote control right there, you have the wireless controllers ×2, 256 gigabyte SD card, you do get a USB hub, you do get a power supply, you do get an HDMI cable, and you do get the user manuals. And that remote control, that air mouse, is something you could use in other projects as well, because that's kind of like a universal one. That's pretty cool as well. So you do get a lot of goodies for the $129 included in the package. But of course, here's the main event. Here is that Super Console X device. Does come with an S905X chip. It's a very powerful, can run 64-bit games smoothly, high configuration and fast speed is what they claim. In my prior testing on the Super Console X console, this particular Super Console X stick, which I apparently can't get into focus, didn't have any issues running PlayStation games and some only some Nintendo 64 games. The ones they had preloaded were stuttering and stuff, and a couple issues with some of the Dreamcast games they had preloaded, audio choppiness and things. But for the most part, it ran all those systems pretty well. And of course, it's an open source system, so if you wanted to you know, add more games or remove games, you can do all that by connecting it to your PC and fiddling around with it. And of course, the coolest thing is that it does support 4K 60 Hz output. So, you know, if you just wanted to plug it into a TV, you'll get that 4K output, as well as it supports the 1080 720 HDMI high definition output as well. Now, versus my prior videos of the Super Console X console, that gray console, the Super Console X stick is a much better and cleaner look when you're plugging everything into your AtGames Legends Arcade family of products. All you have to do is plug that big stick into the HDMI port, and this will work on the 1.0 or 1.1 cabinets. In this case, I'm using my 1.0 cabinet. Once you plug it in, there you go, it's plugged into the HDMI port, and at this point, you want to simply head on over to the OTG functions under Settings. So we're going to go to Settings, we're going to click on OTG mode, and then it just says, hey, if you want to connect OTG mode, plug in something into the left USB port, which we just did, and now we're in OTG mode. You'll also notice when I plugged it in, a little light came on the Super Console X. That's right, the Super Console X art stick here is receiving power via the USB hub. So there's no reason to use the separate AC adapter that comes with the device or anything of that nature. All you have to do is simply flip over to the correct HDMI, and boom, everything is running through the AtGames system. I did play for an hour and a half on the 1.0 machine, and I did play for an hour on the 1.1 in my testing, and I didn't see any issues. I didn't get disconnected, but more importantly, I was concerned like, hey, if this is plugged into the, this is drawing power through the USB port, is it going to damage the machine? Is it going to draw too much power? Are we going to have any issues? And me personally, I didn't have any issues with my arcade machines. Myself personally, everything ran fine. Didn't seem like anything overheated or anything of that nature. And the EMU-ELEC emulation station is so similar to simply a Raspberry Pi. Once everything fires up, it'll say, hey, what's going on? We're detecting 2 gamepads via that USB cable. And obviously what you'd want to do is probably get a really short USB cable. In this video, I was using about a 3-foot cable, but think about it. If you have this stick, all you need is like a 6-inch cable or less to connect to your USB port, and it'll look nice and clean on your Legends. All you have to do is hit the A button on one side of the control deck, and then just start mapping your buttons like you would any other Raspberry Pi. Up, down, left, right, A, B, X, Y, Z, C, whatever you want to use for your shoulder buttons. And then obviously all the buttons you're not going to use analog sticks. You just hold down the A button on each one. It'll say not defined. And that way, when you get to the very end, when it gets to the hotkey, obviously for select and for your hotkey, you're probably going to want to use your rewind key, because whenever you want to exit a game, you want to hit the player 1 start and hotkey. Now this particular image that's on the SD card that came included with my Super Console X stick, it does have 3 themes. This is one of the themes that you can select. All you have to do is hit the start button, go down to the user interface options within the system, and it'll say, do you want to change the theme? And there's 3 themes to choose from. This is one of them, and this is actually, it's okay. I mean, it's not pretty, but it's, it's got everything you need. It's got a bunch of games at one time on the screen for you. And of course, this particular console, this stick has 50,000 games, about 2,500 arcade main games, which is my main thing on my that I like to play on these kind of devices. But of course, you have all the Nintendos, the Segas, the 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit consoles, and a bunch of games. I've also shown gameplay footage on my other videos for this as well for the Super Console X. Now, when it comes to off-the-shelf stuff like this, obviously any of the spinner or trackball games are not going to map, not going to work with the spinner or trackball on the Legends Ultimate Control deck. So when it comes to stuff like that, you're probably going to want to use CoinOps X or Add-on X. And our community has done a fantastic job creating those CoinOps X builds with the best ROMs, the best cores, the best artwork, the best bezels, the best marquees. Definitely don't want to discredit everything that they've done. But for folks who don't want to fiddle with that stuff, if you're looking for a quick solution that's not as pretty, and you just want to play some games with joysticks and buttons, boom, this is a good way to go for you. If you're looking for more gameplay demonstrations, you can check out the other Super Console X videos on my channel. But basically, I mean, it's just like running any other games off a USB stick on the Legends Ultimate. Everything is going to work. No issues with the emulation when it comes to your MAME arcade games. Yes, of course, no issues when it comes to all your console games like your 8-bit and your 16-bit games. Some of the Dreamcast and Nintendo 64 games and things like that, you might see some issues on the Super Console X. It doesn't emulate all those systems perfectly, but some games in particular, it does run really well. I did a Dreamcast video on this already. My final thoughts are, once again, best way always to go with your AtGames Legends family of products is to use CoinOps X and the community builds by the CoinOps folks in that community. They've done a fantastic job. But if you're looking for a quick and easy solution, something to get you there, get you up and running, because some people don't want to fiddle with that stuff, this is a great alternative for you to get you up and running within seconds, playing thousands of games on your AtGames Legends arcade machines. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the quick video. I wanted to just give you guys my thoughts on this. And as always, guys, I appreciate your support. Do me a favor, give me a thumbs up on the way out. And as always, thank you for subscribing.